An introduction to the Word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yahuwah, and the Word was Elohim. Hello again, and welcome. This will be an introduction to the Word. As you can probably tell by the verse I read less than a minute ago, this word isn't the kind of word we're used to. This word has been here since the beginning. This word was, and is, and will always be with Yahuwah. And this word is a mighty one, an El, a spirit just like Yahuwah. In this video, we'll be discussing some of the many times this word appears in Bible before this word was made flesh. Now, this word comes up a lot in Bible, so we won't look at every instance, not even a quarter of the instances, but we'll look at some of my personal favorites. Feel free to pause and look up the verses yourself. I'm not going anywhere. Let's start at Genesis 15, 1-4. This is the very first instance where the word appears. After these things, the word of Yahuwah came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I'm thy shield, and thy exceeding great reward. And Abram said, Yahuwah Eloah, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless, and the steward of my house is this Eliezer of Damascus? And Abram said, Behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born of my house is mine heir. And behold, the word of Yahuwah came unto him, saying, This shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thine heir. For context, Abram, or Abraham, has just come from fighting to save his nephew Lot. And he's realizing, I don't have an heir. What's going to happen to me? How will I inherit this land like you promised I would? And the word of Yahuwah comes and assures him that he will, and that his servant Eliezer will not be his heir. He will have an heir from his very own body, or from his wife's very own body, but it will be his son. Now, Abraham and his wife are way past the ages where people normally have babies. Spoiler alert. They have their first child when Abraham is 100 and his wife Sarah is 90. Yeah. So this is obviously only a work of the Most High. It can only be Yahuwah who can do something like that. Next example. We'll go to 1 Kings 19:9. And he came thither unto a cave, and lodged there. And, behold, the word of Yahuwah came to him, and he said unto him, What doest thou here, Elijah? And he said, I have been very jealous for Yahuwah, the Eloah of hosts. For the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thine altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword. And I, even I only, am left, and they seek my life to take it away. In this verse, Elijah the prophet is furious with Yahuwah's chosen nation, and has come to Yahuwah's mountain to speak with him, only to be met first by the word, who listens and tells him to wait for Yahuwah to arrive and hear him. Next, we have 1 Kings chapter 21, verses 17-24. This one's a bit dark, but I just really love it. It's good. It's just too good. The word of Yahuwah came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, Arise, go down to meet Ahab, king of Israel, which is in Samaria. Behold, he is in the vineyard of Naboth, whither he is gone down to possess it. And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus saith Yahuwah, Hast thou killed, and also taken possession? And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus saith Yahuwah, In the place where dogs licked up the blood of Naboth, shall dogs lick up thy blood, even thine. And Ahab said unto Elijah, Hast thou found me, O mine enemy? And he answered, I found thee, because thou hast sold thyself to do evil in the sight of Yahuwah. Behold, I will bring evil upon thee, and will take away thy posterity, and will cut off from Ahab him that pisseth against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel, and will make thine house like the house of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha the son of Ahiah. For the provocation wherewith thou hast provoked me to anger and made Israel to sin. And of Jezebel, Also spake Yahuwah, saying, The dog shall eat Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel. Him that dieth of Ahab in the city the dog shall eat, and him that dieth in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. Like I said, this one is dark, but it's just true. The word comes to Elijah to prophesy against the king and queen after they murder an innocent man in order to obtain his land. Next, 1 Kings chapter 22, verses 19 to 23. And he said, Hear therefore the word of Yahuwah. I saw Yahuwah sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him, on his right hand and on his left. And Yahuwah said, Who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said, On this manner, and another said, On that manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before Yahuwah and said, I'll persuade him. And Yahuwah said unto him, Wherewith? And he said, I'll go forth, and I'll be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, Thou shalt persuade him, and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Now therefore, behold, Yahuwah hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and Yahuwah hath spoken evil concerning thee. This one is almost unbelievable, but we do know Yahuwah is a spirit. So a lot of things that happen behind the scenes influence the things that we see here. But basically, for some context, Micaiah the prophet is summoned to ask Yahuwah if the king and his army will have victory in a war pursuit. Micaiah, being one of the only prophets of Yahuwah left in the kingdom, is despised, but delivers the word as he received it, confessing that all the king's other prophets are being used as tools that will lead to the king's very own death. Let's look at a different type of verse about this word. Psalm 33:6. By the word of Yahuwah were the heavens made, and all the hosts of them by the breath of his mouth. Wow, imagine such a thing. This word is the creator of the heavens and of all its hosts, which is to say spirits. Again, not a normal word, but let's keep going. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 8. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, but the word of our Elohah shall stand forever. This is not a normal word. Though I do want to point out, like other words, the ones even that we speak, they do last, and we have to be careful how we use them. For more information, read James, the book of James. But we have to be careful how we use them because they don't just die. They don't come out of our mouths and cease to exist. No, we should be very careful with our words. Next, let's go to Jeremiah chapter 1, verses 4 and 5. Then the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. This word comes speaking truths that we, as humans, cannot even imagine. Next, Ezekiel chapter 12, verses 21 to 25. And the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, The days are prolonged, and every vision faileth? Tell them therefore, Thus saith Yahuwah Elohah, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel, but say unto them, The days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. For there shall be no more any vain vision, nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. For I am Yahuwah. I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass, and it shall be no more prolonged. For in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word, and will perform it, saith Yahuwah Elohah. I feel like this proverb is still around. Unfortunately, people think they have so much time. The word of Yahuwah comes to keep us in check, and to remind us that Yahuwah can do anything at any time, and we shouldn't put off correcting ourselves or others, because punishment or change can come at any time, and we'll have missed the chance to prepare ourselves. Yahuwah doesn't do anything without warning. He's fair and patient, He always sends his word to warn us before he takes action so that we can repent and turn back to him. In this verse, he's telling them that little proverb, that little saying you have about, oh, judgment won't come right now, it'll take a long time. That's not a thing anymore. It's just not. Next, Ezekiel chapter 18, verses 1 to 4. The word of Yahuwah came unto me again, saying, What mean ye that ye use this proverb concerning the land of Israel, saying, The fathers have eaten sour grapes, and the children's teeth are set on edge? As I live, saith Yahuwah Elohah, ye shall not have occasion any more to use this proverb in Israel. Behold, all souls are mine. As the soul of the Father, so also the soul of the Son is mine. The soul that sinneth, it shall die. Again, the end of a proverb. Our Elohah is so fair. As long as we apologize and stop doing whatever it is that we're doing wrong, he will forgive us and help us. He's basically telling them, no more will it be that the father's iniquity falls on the son and there's nothing he can do. Nope, no more. All right, let's wrap it up. Let's go to Jonah, chapter 1, verses 1 to 3. Now the word of Yahuwah came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for their wickedness is come up before me. But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of Yahuwah, and went down to Joppa. And he found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare thereof, and went down into it, to go with them unto Tarshish from the presence of Yahuwah. Wow, Jonah. Sometimes this word comes with tasks that we ourselves don't feel comfortable or confident enough to do. But that doesn't mean we ignore it. Jonah tried to, and he ended up in the deep for 3 days. And 3 nights. Not a fun place to be, believe me. These are just a few of the many instances where the word of Yahuwah appears to humans as a spirit. But let's see 2 more before we go, shall we? John chapter 1, verses 2 to 5, and then John chapter 1, verse 14. Let's begin. The same was in the beginning with Yahuwah. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. Now verse 14. And the Word was made flesh, and dwelt among us. And we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. So this word becomes flesh. This word is the light. He gives life to every human who comes into this world. Fascinating. This video is long enough though, so until next time, hallelujah.